Hello. Thank you for coming on the show. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you, Doctor. How are you doing?
Good. So, if you could share with us with your history, kind of what happened in the past and what led you to seeing me.
So, to be very honest with you, I have a very close friend of mine. I trust him with my life, and he said there's this great doctor that I see. He's very good with patients. He has great bedside manner. He listens to you, and he actually cares to try things, and not like other doctors. If it's not in their agenda, then it's automatic. No, this doctor's a little bit more open to talk to his patients and to see what exactly is their problem, what could we try, what could we do, and from day one, I came into your office. That's exactly how you treated me. I appreciate it.
What were you experienced before you came and see me, and what was your history of what you had at the time?
Well, what I had at the time, I suffer from ADHD. I also have a lot of anxiety. I have a lot of depression. And over the years, we've tried many things. We've tried different drugs because some didn't work, some did. But right now, I'm feeling my very best that I've ever felt.
I think I kind of tried different things. I think at one point you had been, I think you were on Prozac when you first saw me by someone else.
Yes, correct.
And I think I ended up getting you over to Zoloft, which I think worked out better for you.
Yes.
And then I put you on Abilify. Tell me about the Abilify, what that did for you.
Well, the Zoloft alone, I felt like there was a little bit more that I needed help with. And I felt like I needed a little bit more help than what the Zoloft was offering.
Right.
And so, of course, through your experience, you recommended that I try that Abilify, and that Abilify did do a great job. It did a wonderful job. And over time, however, it did start to change. And that's when we recently changed the drug.
Yeah, I saw you recently, and you had came in. You had been doing better, but then you came in recently and said you were feeling pretty depressed.
Correct.
And
I don't want to sleep. I don't want to see people. I want to keep to myself. I want to be reserved.
That's what you told me, reserved. And you said you were tired, low motivation, low energy. Had you ever taken Wellbutrin in the past?
I have, yeah. We tried it out.
And what happened the first time?
It just didn't do much. It wasn't really. Is that the sample bottles that I tried?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them, I don't know, kind of got me sweaty, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel good. And the other one just didn't do anything.
Right.
You gave me two different bottles.
Well, it was called a Plenzin. It was a kind of a newer form of Wellbutrin.
Correct.
And now you're doing a lot better?
I'm doing wonderful now.
Yeah. Good. Anything, and then, so you're on the three things. That's it, right?
That's it.
How's your sleep doing now?
Wonderful. Now that I've been taking trazodone,
Okay.
it's helped me a lot.
So now you're on trazodone also. Yeah. Good.
Correct.
Excellent.
Trazodone literally just wipes out all my horrible feelings that I have, and it just kind of helps me to just naturally go to sleep.
Yeah.
It doesn't put me to sleep. It doesn't make me sleepy. It just lifts off all the weight on my shoulders that I've been carrying all day long, which allows me to be able to lay down and sleep because I'm already tired, and it's just a good night's sleep.
Yeah. Excellent. So yeah, I think you're going to do really, really well throughout the rest of your life. I think we got to get to the point where you realize these are things you're going to be taking longer term. But so what? You know, you have genetics; it runs in your family. And I tell people a lot. These are brain vitamins. These are doing something for your brain that it doesn't do on its own. But you know, and you're going to stay on these. But so what? I mean, you're on some very healthy things. They're not addictive in any way. and they're just balancing your neurochemistry, and that's why you're feeling so good. And this is feeling natural. The feeling you're having is a natural feeling of self, because that's you in a balanced state, and that's just when you're as bad as you used to be. It's just so good to be here, and now the good news is you're going to be able to stay here, and I'm going to keep you here long term. So,
thank you, doctor. I appreciate your help and all your concern and everything that I've been going through.
Well, it's a pleasure treating you, and thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, doctor.
All right.
Hope you very well.
You too.
Today. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. So in his case, he was a little bit more complex. He had long history, so when I first saw him, he has a history of ADD, a history of very bad depression. He had been on Prozac. It kind of didn't help a lot. It kind of helped a little bit. It kind of flattened him out, but it did help. So I knew that serotonin was an issue. Zoloft is a little bit lighter touch, and also works a little bit on dopamine a little bit. So I switched him to Zoloft, and actually he responded to it. So I knew that that's one chemical we really can't ignore. Serotonin. It's the most basic one. So we got Zoloft to go in that way. But he's still, and he had tried Wellbutrin. I think we tried that early on. Not a whole lot happened with it, or he might have felt a little bit agitated with it. So that was kind of a hint. If I put Wellbutrin in for residual depression, and it's causing a bit of agitation, that's a clue to me. And when I look at his long-term history, he also has a strong family history. I had a hint that we got some bipolar disorder going on with him. And with bipolar, he didn't have like the mania or history. He had just a more persistent depression over many years. And so I had a clue that there was something that was bipolar. And sure enough, I put Abilify. So again, the bipolar meds that I use the most are the atypical antipsychotic class. And even though he doesn't have psychosis, that's what they're called. So we can't always go by what they're called. We call dopamine antagonists. So in his case, I could tell that dopamine was going too fast. So what that does is it puts the brakes on a bit, and it slows it down, and that helps calm the brain down in his case, and it helps his depression. Because they not only help with sleep and helping calm the brain that's racing and gets sometimes irrational a little bit, but it actually calms the brain. In his case, it really helped him a lot. And he was doing well for a while, but the last visit he came in, he's like, I was doing well, but now I'm feeling depressed again. So what to do? Well, I could try switching from an SSRI like Zoloft to a Pristiq or something like an SNRI. That's a thought. But with the bipolar part, I knew that that may not work. So I thought about the Wellbutrin again. I go, now that the Abilify has it slowed down, the problem is it might be too slowed down, or so now I put Wellbutrin in, and that kind of gets it going this way. So now we have the regulation of this chemical. So it's going forward at a good rate, and it's not going backward too fast. So it's kind of regulating that chemical. It's a very important chemical. I often give two things, Wellbutrin plus a dopamine antagonist, because they work a lot of times together. Because if we only do the Abilify, which is a generic one that's been around for years, then they can lead to depression. If we only do the Wellbutrin, it can lead to increased anxiety. So when we put them together, in his case, it was the perfect blend. And then he still had problems with sleep. So there's a medication called trazodone. It works on the serotonin side a bit, but it's a really good sleeping medication. It's actually the most commonly prescribed sleeping medication in the United States. It's not addictive. I like to go with it before I think about like something like an Ambien or Lunesta. I prefer using non-controlled substances and not using the benzos like the Xanax and Ativan. I like to try things like that first. Trazodone is highly effective for sleep. Seroquel is amazing for sleep if it's an issue. With him, he was already on a good dose of Abilify, so I decided to go with trazodone. It worked perfect with him. So now he's sleeping great. Now he's on 4 things, but with his history, so what? He's on 4 great things. He's feeling great, and he'll continue to feel great.